в каждой стране сегодня и сейчас разное время. Мы рады всех приветствовать на платформе АЛЛАТРА, Международного общественного движения АЛЛАТРА. Сегодня проходит крупномасштабная конференция «Круглый стол. Созидательная медицина в Африке» на примере Судана. Передаем слово доктору Арва, Судан. Доктор Арва, пожалуйста, вам слово.
Hello, can you hear me?
Да, мы слышим вас. Hello. Да, мы слышим вас. Yes.
Such a great opportunity for us. And we are going to open a discussion about healthcare in creative society.
Сегодня я начну обсуждать вопрос здравоохранения в созидательном обществе. В вопросах здравоохранения правительство сталкивается с многочисленными проблемами. Доктора из Африки, из Судана уезжают за границу с определением специалистов. В созидательном обществе система здравоохранения делается на принципах равенства и доступности для всех граждан. В этой новой эре, в этом растет новое поколение. Прошу прощения, невозможно переводить с эхо в эфире. Главное решение, которое я бы хотела предложить, это что мы должны покрыть своими услугами все необходимые базовые сферы, дать все необходимые базовые услуги людям, чтобы была клиническая практика и можно было получить лечение всех наиболее сложных болезней. На сегодняшний день технологии доступны, и есть в том числе информационные технологии, такие как интернет. С помощью интернета можно проводить консультации, и с помощью этого можно улучшить качество услуг. Также нам необходимо оценить и осознать важность информации. Это очень сильное оружие. Должны это понимать, правильно его использовать эффективным образом, чтобы преодолевать все болезни и, главное, чтобы не допускать их возникновения. Как в Судане, так и в других странах, правительство и приватный сектор должны сотрудничать между собой, чтобы угроза заболеваний была убрана, чтобы было медицинское страхование для всех граждан, и чтобы система была эффективной. Это очень поможет улучшить нашу систему здравоохранения. Что касается инфраструктуры, это в созидательном обществе должна быть стабильная система, которая обеспечивает в том числе, что наша инфраструктура доступна, она есть, и нас удовлетворяет приоритеты и потребности, которые мы себе устанавливаем в созидательной системе здравоохранения, чтобы мы могли помогать людям вовремя справляться с заболеваниями. В течение длительного времени много люди задавали вопросы, обращались за услугами, какие должны быть услуги. Или вот бесплатное здравоохранение, это хорошо или плохо? На мой взгляд, не всегда бесплатные услуги хороши, но в том числе нужно работать и над тем, чтобы правильно прописывались лекарства, препараты. Очень много сейчас препаратов, которые неэффективны и несут необходимое лечение. Будем надеяться, что для следующих поколений, к 2050 году, в частности, в Африке население то население, которое сейчас молодое, будем надеяться, что оно доживет до 2050 года и будет все-таки здоровым. Очень важно сейчас думать о будущих поколениях. И очень важно предоставлять помощь вовремя. Для меня время крайне важно. И нам необходимо готовить персонал на будущее, чтобы к тем годам больше было сотрудников, специалистов, занимающихся предоставлением медицинских услуг. И в Африке нам нужно заботиться обо всех категориях граждан и думать об всех людях, которые имеют на сегодняшний день проблемы. Это и мужчины, и женщины. В конце хотела бы сказать, что Махатма Ганди однажды сказал, что все, что мы делаем, мы должны делать вместе, и все изменения мы должны делать вместе, чтобы создать созидательное общество и обеспечить удовлетворение потребностей всех людей. Нам необходимо выстраивать свою политику и решать все проблемы вместе. Нам сейчас нужно взять активные дела в свои руки и начинать активно работать над улучшением системы здравоохранения в Африке. Также доктор Халид из Египта, он тоже, я передаю ему слово, и он поделится с нами позитивным опытом работы его медицинской ассоциации.
Всем здравствуйте. Меня зовут Халид Заид. Я руководитель больницы Гелиополис в Каире, в Египет. И я хотел бы продолжить просто то, что говорил предыдущий докладчик. И вначале озвучим несколько цифр. Итак, есть цитата одна от главы одной из африканских банков. Глава Африканского банка говорил, что Африка может сильно выиграть от развития в регионе. И давайте перейдем к цифрам в Африке. В африканском регионе проживает 738 миллионов человек. Это 11% населения мира. Однако, признавая, что Африка сталкивается с самым драматическим кризисом в области общественного здравоохранения в мире, нужно сказать, что в Африке очень много проблем, очень много вызовов. И в Африке только 1% тратится ВВП на медицину, и 3% тратится на другие вещи, которые связаны с медициной. Сейчас в Африке дела идут лучше. То есть в Африке 60% всех ВИЧ инфицированных в мире и 90% всех людей, которые умирают от малярии. Но, несмотря на эти цифры, дела становятся лучше. 33 страны из 37 имеют присутствие малярии на своей территории. И сейчас эти страны используют лучшее лекарство против малярии. И используется лекарство против полиомиелита, малярии и других болезней на всем континенте. Используется вакцинация, профилактика, и это доступно, но есть сложность с доступом в клиниках и также дорогая стоимость. А что это значит? Это значит, что не все население получает доступ.
And the very is that we cannot, take the medicine to the people there. So yes, infrastructure, as Dr. Barrow said, presents its own problems. Less than half of the population of the sub-Saharan Africa, for example, has access to electricity, and the road density over the two past decades are actually declining. But we still have a hope, because what do we need? We need this principle, UHC, which is universal health coverage. It means that everyone receives the needed health services without financial hardship. How can we get there? By many ways. First of all, we need to invest in the health system in Africa. But it must be this investment must be inclusive and sustainable. And there is a lot of challenges. Yes, we know, but everything can be done with planning. And yes, we need upgrades, we need expansions, we need construction, we need to build more healthcare facilities. And we can do this with technology. If we adopt technology, we cut short a long time if we get to this. Realizing the promise of digital healthcare technology while avoiding the potential pitfalls will require a comprehensive and systemic approach. And it must be based on principles of sustainability, equity, and inclusion. We have a lot of new technologies that you can use. It can save a lot in logistics. We have drones to deliver to distant areas. We have apps. We have computer-controlled vending machines. And these things, of course, they are helping in position to use 6 minutes. We have to strengthen the capacity to do the research in research and the trials and initiatives. This can be translated to establishing centers of excellence. Models out of each of these. regulation for the people to use. Politics, logistics, method, and delivery to, and we can hear about to talk to us about them later. The healthcare, they can and all global with solutions, and they can and a very good. So we will hear Dr. Arwa, a non-governmental this health help and provide united together in a centers and clinics, and other activities on the side to schools and kindergarten. That and it to distribute all of our supplies and all of our facilities over a vast area of land. It cannot be centralized only in the main part, and then the people who are distant from this center are forgotten. So we have to redistribute. And then the governance. Governance it involves the institutional foundations for this universal healthcare coverage agenda. We have to make an agenda. We have to come together as all NGOs and all associations together so that we can come up with a plan and we make models so other people everywhere in the world can adopt it, especially in Africa. Now, about what we did here in Egypt is that we just adopted these axes and we executed them. First, we use technology. First of all, these NGOs here, most in Egypt, were mostly done and run by bureaucracy. You know, like old times, old-fashioned. Everything is paper-based, and it's very complicated, and it's very hard to spend money in the right direction. So what we did is that we digitalized this process, so that we have good information systems, we have good accounting system, and then we know where to spend the money and how can we benefit people as much as possible. Then we had to share and involve the private sector, the investors, into our program, so that we cannot do everything by ourselves. We need a lot of funds, and we don't do fundraising. We don't ask for endowments or contributions. We have to make our own money. And so what we did is that we, in our hospitals, we looked at, for example, at the specialized department like laboratories, radiology, intensive care units, incubation units, pharmacies. And we got the private sector people to partnership with us in each of these fields, so that they could, first of all, now we got rid of the headaches, and we gave the running of this department to the people who really understand how to run it. And second, they invest in it. They don't get so much money as in the private sector, yes, but they give good service, and we benefit, and we make money, and we can make money so that we can save this money and do other projects and improve our service, and maybe even open new branches in distant areas. We can get better equipment. We can do a lot of things with this surplus of money. And that this model is making a very big success, and we are very happy with what we are doing. And we hope to generalize this in the future to make it something like a model to be adopted even for the government. The government is learning now from us, and now they are trying to copy our model, and we hope also to make it working for everywhere else. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Khalid.
Ahmed, thank you so much, Arma. We're is our microphone on? Can you hear us? Yes. Can you hear us, Dr. Khalid? Yeah?
Yes, Mariam. Go ahead.
So we would like to, first of all, we would like to apologize for all delays and technical problems that we faced in the beginning. And I would like to sincerely thank you for Dr. Arwa Gadal for initiating of this conference that is actually a continuation of the first conference, which took place in Atlanta on November 2nd, 2019, and we are very happy to see everybody here. And I totally agree with you, Dr. Gadal, and with you, Dr. Saeed, that if people will get together, people can really do a lot, because each of us strives to the humanness inside of each of us, and we really can find the solution. Hearing the opinion from people from around the world, from people of different cultures, different religion, different mindsets, we will be able to find out the complete picture of how our society, how medical sphere, the healthcare system should work, and we will be find a way how we can bring humanness and the value of life on the first place in a healthcare. So I really would like to yield the floor to Dr. Gadal so she can invite our next speaker. And one more time, thank you very much. The floor is yours, Dr. Gadal. Thank you.
Thank you, Mariana, from Atlanta, USA. And thank you for the Sudanese people that I'm seeing here. I'd like to send my greetings for you. Now, yes, now we are going to have Dr. Muhammad from Egypt to speak to us about pharmaceutical business. Hi, Dr. Muhammad. Are you with us?
Dr. Arwa, do you hear me?
Yes.
It's my turn to speak.
Yes, it is your turn.
Okay, thanks. Hello, everyone. First of all, I'd like to thank you and thank Electra Group for organizing that conference. And that's what we should start globally. How to make connections between NGOs and governments and also volunteers from all over the world. When we talk about healthcare of human, it doesn't matter where he is from, Africa, Asia, or Europe. As human is a human, no matter his nationality or religion. And as we saw, how is diseases transfer from country to another doesn't differentiate anyone. As Dr. Arwa said, a beautiful expression doesn't knock the door. So that's the first solution, how to collaborate with each other to solve our problems. The last few days, while I discussed some problems of Africa healthcare with Dr. Arwa, Dr. Khalid, Dr. Efrem, we extracted many ideas and many solutions and opportunities to share it and put it to be practices to be on practice, such as Egypt has scientists can move to neighbor countries. Sudan has resources, Ethiopia, and etc. So we should start planning to calibrate all these efforts with governments and volunteers and start to perform it. Secondly, how to improve medical and pharmaceutical researches, as Dr. Khalid pointed, collaborating with pharmaceutical companies. As I worked more than 10 years in multinational companies in Egypt, research is limited only maybe in USA and Europe. So we can start multi-studies between African countries and Alatra can care such collaboration. يعني if we do that, we will provide medical and pharmaceutical services with affordable prices and high quality to improve human life. Also, as Dr. Khalid pointed to solutions or creative solutions to solve some pharmaceutical problems, I'd like to talk about harmonization. How can be in health or with health authorities to validate and make new medicines and health products available across multiple countries using standardized authorization and evaluation criteria. The example in Egypt and Algeria is a good example to follow through in this direction if governments and investors can strike deals with the big pharma in Europe and the USA and end their free trials on the under or the unaware subjects of Africa and compete these trials with يعني pharmaceutical monopolies and high pricing. Also new distribution systems like partnership. Also Novartis has good example with Zipline to deliver sickle cell medicines by drone to rural population in Ghana, can also cluster security to address the threat of counterfeit medicines, the cause of over many hundreds of thousands of diseases a year, mostly in Africa. A good example of investment also in healthcare field is that in 2016, Flynt Atlantic, Nigerian-based healthcare impact investment firm, announced an investment jointly with US-based Polaris Partners. It's a leading global healthcare venture capital firm to fund Allegheny Health Network expansion in Rwanda and across Africa. Over the next 2 years, private providers sense opportunity in Africa healthcare. For instance, in Nigeria, where it has sold portable ultrasound scanners, has trained healthcare. So providers in remote villages how to identify the biggest pregnancy complication risks and so on. We had a lot of creative ideas which can be held if just we collaborating with each others. As we said, I suggest Alatra to start a branch, maybe medical or pharmaceutical branch, who can, when we talk about sponsoring, I don't mean sponsoring financial, but caring and coordination between pharmaceutical companies, between volunteers to plan and perform these ideas in fact. That's what I wanted to share, and thank you again to give me this chance to share with you these ideas, and I hope to see it soon as practiced, and thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Muhammad, for sharing this valuable information and addressing or highlighting such important things and points. I guess that we have a Sudanese doctor in US location, and we are talking about roundtable about Africa. I would like to see, I would like to hear from them their point of view. How do you see the healthcare or the creative healthcare from their point of view?
Thank you very much. My name is Khidr Bashir. I'm a physician practicing in Atlanta. I'm really happy to be here, and it's my first time with the whole project and with the whole idea of these initiatives. So I'm really pleased to hear those initiatives, ideas, opinions, and points from different people in different parts of the world. And I'm sure our communities in need are going to benefit from them. Dr. Arwar, I was just Googling you to see, and I know that you, by now, one of the leading personnel in Sudan in community health. So I'm pleased that we have doctors who are in community departments who are initiating these kind of projects. You, of course, know better than me what is going on back home in the rural area. But all I can say now, like as I just mentioned, that I'm just exploring the whole project, but I'm really happy and would like to see these ideas like in the ground. So I'll learn more from you guys, see what you are doing. I can formulate like last opinion on this by now, but I'm sure it's going to benefit people who in need for it. So thank you for the opportunity to let me talk. And by now, what I can say is the main thing that our community needs for, and Dr. Arwa and the other guests here know that better than me, the main thing for our communities back home in these rural areas is the informations and talk about technology and using them in what we need for the health is a key part. And it will need the infrastructure that Dr. Arwa talked about earlier. So I think it is a big journey, starting it by gathering people together, have different opinions and different ideas will absolutely make it to the right direction. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I would like to summarize something on the first conference when we just started. The idea of that conference was that healthcare is a human right. And every person on earth has right to be able to receive high quality, timely healthcare services without have to be drive for hundreds of kilometers or have to be able to find a doctor in his neighborhood in any time of the day and receive a very good quality health care. And on the first conference, we were looking like, what is the reason why we don't have it right now? And we decided on the first conference to focus on creating a picture of the healthcare and a picture of the society in which everybody of us wants to live. To find out, to have this picture, because if we will set it as our goal, we need to really understand it like clearly how our goal looks like, because without knowing, we will never be able to get there. We really need to understand location where we go, and that's why this platform that created right now by volunteers of ALLATRA International Public Movement is unique because we invite people from different countries to hear opinion for everybody and to make sure that we, in this picture, we include the need for each country, for each region, for each culture as well, because we are the people and we need to appreciate all cultures, all tradition, and all religions. Thank you so much, Dr. Gadal. Please.
Thank you all from Atlanta and USA, Dr. Khader, for the positive words for me. Thank you very much for you. Before I'm going to introduce the next speaker with us, just I would like to kindly ask for all the speakers just to be on time and take the time after. The next speaker is a doctor from Ethiopia. He's going to tell us positively and fill the rooms with positive energy about his experiences in Ethiopia. Dr. Efren, are you with us?
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Awa. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, dear ALLATRA family. My name is Ephraim. I am from Africa, Ethiopia, where Ethiopia is the second biggest population next to Nigeria. And I see people and team members from more than 5 continents. So I'm saying hello before I start my presentation, and welcome to this amazing program. After mass conflicts, countries are at increased risk of recurrent episodes of communal violence and upheavals, and it has a lot of social and economic consequences and affects the development of health care. Generally, symptoms of post-traumatic stress, PTSD, remain high in the period soon after a mass conflict, sometimes up to 3 years, with a gradual improvement in mental health in years afterwards. It is estimated that around 25 million people in Ethiopia suffer from some kind of mental health disorder, which is less than 10% receive any form of treatment, and less than only 1% receive a specialist care, which is a psychiatrist care. And it's a very scarce resource in Ethiopia, because Ethiopia is a country with a population over 100 million people, and there are only 83 psychiatrists, which gives you a yield of 0.8 psychiatrists for 1 million population. And most of the psychiatrists are concentrated in the large cities, in the main cities, and consequently, treatment gap exists as a high proportion of Ethiopians who are living in the rural and remote areas. So what we have realized that the increase of the number of psychiatrists will not help much, as we must change is the relation between the people to avoid the mass conflicts, which is the source. A lot depends also on us. Currently, people build a consumer civilization that is characterized by systemic crisis, namely the spiritual and moral crisis in all spheres of the society, the artificial formation of the materialistic worldview, the consumer attitudes towards one and all extreme self-centeredness, and all these were brought to the medical field. And responsibility to change the vector of society development to a more creative and human one lies on our shoulders, healthcare professionals. The best solution to trauma healing is a change of format of relations between people. Since there is still interest to earn money by selling weapons, we will not be able to stop the wars and dealing with consequences. In Ethiopia, there is only one public hospital which exclusively works on mental health issues, and there are very few NGOs which work on psychosocial issues. And most non-governmental organizations work on shelter, education, prevention of similar problems is almost not available. Therefore, our center, Erkmal Mental Health and Media Communication Center, is a private social service provider organization. We are a social enterprise, and the major purpose of the organization is solving the social and psychological problems of the community, regardless of age, sex, religion, race, or political outlook. Since its establishment, which is 9 years ago, Erkmal has been one of the very few centers in the country offering psychological support, psychosocial trainings for the youth, marriage and couple counseling, support for children and families affected by especially trauma, depression, abuse, and related mental health issues. I believe that nothing is created outside of us until it's created inside first. We are in a conflict outside because we are in a conflict inside. We judge others because we judge ourselves first. We criticize and find fault in others because we are finding fault inside of ourselves first. And we trash the environment outside because we trash the environment inside. As long as this kind of understanding exists, we will never create anything truly new, inside or outside. The change starts from us, and the change starts from inside. Based on our experience, we realize that mental health care in Ethiopia is still a huge need for many parts of the country. And the Ministry of Health in Ethiopia has been doing some improvements in integrating mental health service in the general hospitals. And now there are some developments by assigning psychologists in the normal system to bring a healthcare quality. And the University of Addis Ababa is also expanding its specialty training programs in clinical psychology. All these efforts are good, but there is a lot to do when it comes to mental health care also. Mental health is being associated with internal stability and inner meaning, and society members have to be ready for healing from inside, and rather than just external reasons and demands, as mental health and wellness comes from lack of meaning in life. Finally, we are integrating the scientific approach of trauma healing with local wisdom of healing and reconciliation in Ethiopia. For us, healthcare starts from wellness and well-being of humankind, and making sure there is a safe space for them to talk, to express their trauma, and also trauma healing is a process rather than a one-time cure. Thank you very much, and I'll say let human comes first. Thank you, and shukran everyone.
Thank you, Ephraim, for the very positive words. that you mentioned before, and you are addressing very important issues. Thank you, Afro. Now we are going to introduce an endocrinologist from city Luanda in Angola. She's a beautiful lady, Dr. Manuela. Dr. Manuela.
Hello. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And my city is Luanda, please. Thank you very much. Yes. We here in Angola, we have a lot of problems, similar the ones you have in Sudan. And I heard very carefully from Dr. Zayed from Egypt, and I agree, really. We have some problems and solutions we must discuss. We must discuss and agree. And I am really concerned about the relationship between doctors and patients, doctors and nurses, and so on. And I would like to speak a little bit about that. So in a creative society, in my opinion, the relationship between doctors and patient should be more personal, you know. There must be a greater empathy from the doctor, who should look to the patient as a human being in need of help, really. The doctor should talk to the patient, listen carefully to what he has to say, and respond empathetically. He should also examine the patient carefully, but great respect, and especially must put himself in the patient's place, wondering how he would like to be treated. We forget a lot of times to do that, and just we put distance between us and the patient. And I think this is a big problem, another problem. The relationship between doctors and nurses should be also cooperative and very respectful, of course. The doctor should never forget that if the nurse does not follow the treatment instructions correctly, the patient's life should be in danger. Therefore, the instructions must be very clear. Most of the doctors, we just write something in the wrong way, and nobody understands what is there written. So the doctor should look to the nurse, not as subordinate, but as a partner whose goal is the same. I mean, the well-being of the patient. And regarding the relationship between clinics and doctors and the other staff, the clinic should pay well the doctor and the other staff to prevent them from working in different places, in different hospitals. Doctors and nurses are always rushing to an hospital to another, from a clinic to another clinic, and I think this is a very big problem. We must solve that from the beginning. Thus, the patient's attention will be greater if we stay in one place. We can study the patient and treat him calm and efficiently and patiently and well. I think everything must start from this. And thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Dr. Manuela, for sharing this or opening this very important issue, that the relationship between patient and doctors actually actually addressing the very important issue like the communication and the communication skills that we should have, and how we are going to treat our patient with good and just respect his needs when he came to us, and we be also be patient with him. Also, that when you say that using the or paying well for the patients, from the patient to the doctors, I guess it is very important. And thank you very much for your valuable information. So we are going back to Atlanta from USA. Have a very lovely house, really.
Thank you very much, Arva. And I also would like to thank you, doctor from Ethiopia. And I also would like to add that when I fully agree when you mentioned that all problems start inside of a human. And actually, this also goes with doctor from Angola as well. So the problems in a relationship between doctors and patient also starts inside of us. Without understanding of our true nature, without understanding that we all human, we will not be able to treat each other well. We will not be able to see a human in a other person without seeing a human being inside of us. We need to understand that we are not animals, and we need to understand that person sitting close to me is exactly the same person as I am, and he or she has her feelings. So, and knowing that will help us to build really good universal healthcare system that will be based on humanness, on kindness, on love and trust, and not on a profit, and not on desire to make money on somebody else's suffering. And this is very important topic of education of our children, education of our like people around us, and creating a right informational field. So to bring a right topic to the mass media. So mass media also will bring this positive information and create support for us human. So we will see good example on the screens, because as we know, we human learning by imitation. And if we will see good examples, then we will follow them. So I would like to yield the floor to our next speaker. Can we please call Vladimir Shirin from Kiev? He would like to share his opinion about what we can do to make our society worthy of living.
Сделать общество таким, в котором есть смысл, стоит жить.
Здравствуйте.
Salaries are the same everywhere, then doctor will not go work in another place. When every doctor understands
responsibility
their
in front of the patient,
before
in front of all
society,
of the
before
society, what internal state of the
internal
doctor
feeling of the doctor
has to be the same rights to other people. And we understand that medicine itself is a component part of this creative society that we've seen so far, because all of us understand that medicine itself does not build roads, doesn't create infrastructure. It's just a society, creative society. Every person is responsible for what he does. The one who's works in building roads is also going to the medical personnel. The ones who establish pharmaceuticals who delivers them is also a patient at one point of time. All of the creative society is unified, so every person is responsible for his area of responsibility or work. Creative society is what person brings inside of himself, because every person is creating himself internally. This is the state of mind when we feel that all of us are united. All of us are the same. Every person is such a person as others. Nobody does have any difference between ourselves. We are just different pieces of one unified spirit. It's everybody for everybody, everyone for everyone, and this is the main thing that we have to follow, because everything that we are following, we are doing for ourselves and for every part of our society, and it's not just possible in one continent or one country. Creative society is supposed to be right from the start from on all of the world, because as one of the respected doctors mentioned once, diseases doesn't have borders, as well as the help of any person does not supposed to have borders. Everybody can help each other no matter where we are and what country do we reside. So then we'll be able to build logistics and helping each other, and in allocation of funds, when the society will be planning the budget and will know how to allocate funds, how to get funds, and where to allocate them toward to the first place. Because when there is an understanding and there's data, so there's correct data sets, and we know where there's an outbreak of a disease, for example, there we need to allocate money and help and care. All of that is a part of creative society that understands inside of that how much can all of us be creative, how much can each of us help each other, how does our society is made of, and how our world is made and of what it is made of, so that we understand all of the responsibility that lies in front of us. Thank you so much.
Еще раз добрый вечер всем. Вы знаете, очень изумительно, что я бы хотел сказать, что вот, все люди в разных странах мы собрались и с вами обсуждаем сегодня. Сегодня обсуждаем вот эти проблемы, которые есть. Созидательное общество мы сами должны создавать. Вот, принцип, да. Вы слышите меня? Да, мы слышим. Хорошо, спасибо, после интернета. И вот наше общество должно быть созидательным, я так считаю. Мы с детства должны воспитывать наших детей, потому что мы должны что-то создавать. Это первое. Я хотел немножко отвлеченно сказать по поводу созидательного общества. Мы сами должны создавать.
It's in a matter of creative society. We have to build it from the first day. We can say that. There are minor technical issues, and we'll get back as soon as they will be solved. I would just like to make an example of the Ethiopian doctor. So I personally think that people that will be having the understanding so in our society, We will get back to you as soon as technical problems will be solved. So
Роман, мы не слышим вас. Роман, мы вас не слышим. Звук в зуме включите, пожалуйста. Мы вас не слышим.
Я включил звук здесь, слышно должно быть.
Вот, да, все хорошо, мы вас сейчас слышим.
Спасибо, спасибо. Вы знаете, я бы хотел одно сказать, что мы должны изначально строить наше общество с воспитанием наших детей. То, что мы должны созидать. Потому что, в принципе, все люди...
Роман, мы не слышим вас.
Все люди у нас...
Роман, мы вас не слышим.
Я прошу прощения, я вроде говорю, но...
Звук в зуме включите, пожалуйста.
Да, я включил звук, у меня микрофон...
Все хорошо говорите. Мы уже боимся говорить.
Okay, I'm sorry that Rahman, he is cannot hearing us, or we cannot connect with him correctly, but thank you for your effort. Just I would like to say that, or I would like
К
to ask
сожалению, не смогли хорошо подключить Романа, поэтому у нас не получилось.
the creative society from your view.
Будем продолжать тему, как создавать созидательное общество, по мнению наших спикеров.
Yes. Feel free to answer me that. What is the creative solution from your point of view? While you are preparing your answers, I would like the speaker from Spain, Leonardo Minio.
¿Qué tal? Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo están? Bueno, yo lo que quería compartir...
Yes. Dr. Leonardo.
¿Me puede oír? Doctor Leonardo, ¿me puede oír?
Hola, sí. Hola, sí. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo están? Bueno, yo lo que quería compartir aquí con todos ustedes es que bueno, que todos sabemos que en África es un continente que tiene la mayor carencia sanitaria en el mundo y alberga la mayor cantidad de personas con VIH-Sida sufriendo la carencia de personal de salud competente.
¿Podría esperar un momentico
La
para traducir, por
asistencia
favor?
humana en una sociedad creativa tiene que ser completa. O sea, cuando hablamos de que tiene que ser completa, es que debe abarcar la parte psicológica, la parte física y bueno, todo eso lógicamente que incluye la parte mental y la parte biológica. Y no tenemos que dejar de lado, lógicamente, la parte espiritual, porque para que nosotros podamos desarrollar nuestra conciencia y estar en consonancia, debemos tener un buen desarrollo, no solo de la parte física, sino de la parte psicológica. Por eso considero que en una sociedad creativa tendrían que estar en consonancia estos tres ejes: la mente, el cuerpo y el espíritu.
¿Podría,
mi
por favor, dejarme un chance para
trabajo
traducir?
como psicólogo clínico, veo que muchas personas tienen un deterioro en su organismo a causa del eje en su cuerpo mental y, lógicamente, uno debe operar en cierta forma a través del lenguaje para que vuelvan a un valor en su eje físico y que vuelvan a tener un sistema inmunológico acorde que les permita tener un desarrollo espiritual. Por eso pienso que vamos a construir en una sociedad creativa necesitamos construir una salud que mantenga alineados los tres cuerpos, la parte física, la parte psicológica y la parte espiritual, que son tres pilares donde al estar alineado uno puede pensar, decir, hacer y sentir, y que todo eso esté como en consonancia. Porque si no, todo esto lógicamente que va a generar malestar y enfermedades. Es la forma de mantener un sistema inmunológico alto. Esa es la razón por la cual el nuevo paradigma al que probablemente tengamos que ir es al de la biopsico-inmunoespiritualidad, porque es un paradigma fractal y que abarque estos cuatro elementos. El sistema de salud tendría que ser administrado, pienso en un futuro, para que tengamos otro nivel de conciencia, tendría que ser administrado por un consejo global. Ya en 1946, en Nueva York, la OMS dice que el estado de salud es un estado de completo bienestar físico, mental y social. Y hoy, lógicamente, habría que agregarle que también es necesario el desarrollo de la parte espiritual, para que todo pueda evolucionar y que todos nosotros evolucionemos en todo el mundo, porque sabemos que, bueno, lógicamente en África sucede todo esto que estamos comentando y que pareciera que el resto del mundo, en cierta manera, no se termina como tomando conciencia de todo esto que sucede. Y todos, en realidad, somos uno, somos una sola unidad. Por lo tanto, considero que es necesario que en una sociedad creativa, lógicamente, no solo la parte de las investigaciones clínicas y las investigaciones y la aplicación de toda esa medicina en el ser humano tiene que ser privada, sino que debería estar al alcance de todo el mundo, de todo el planeta en general. Y eso se puede lograr a través de lógicamente a través de una cooperativa o de algo que nosotros podamos acceder de forma, de igual manera en todo el mundo. No tiene que haber una división y que depende del lugar donde uno haya nacido, tenga un diferente acceso a la salud, porque la salud es algo natural del ser humano. Por eso hay que tratarlo de una forma.
Interference, physical treatment. For health, all this is natural. And in creative society, in order to ensure all this operating, we need to understand this fractal paradigm, how the system works. We need to overcome the paradigm of non-freedom which we are in now, and we have to switch to a new level of development of awareness, which implies that there is no borders between cultures, between countries. We need to acquire awareness in these issues. We need to integrate all actions that we do, and we need to make this universal excel, the fractal development of all fields of our society. This includes investing attention into well-being of primary aid, secondary aid, and actual treatment practice. Prevention, treatment should be developed in the healthcare field throughout the world. And this will help the whole world to gain health. This is what we need to do as human beings. We shouldn't be silent, shouldn't just step aside. We should not just talk, but we should turn them into actions. And this is how I see the creative society and how I see healthcare in creative society and in the future. Thank you very much. I give the floor. We have such a wonderful round.
Говорим сейчас о созидательном обществе. Но вот мы сейчас собрались, доктор гадал, один человек в мире собрал целую конференцию. И мы сидим и это обсуждаем. И вместе сейчас приходим к каким-то решениям. Мне хотелось бы тоже рассказать свою мечту, как я вижу созидательное общество. Я думаю, что решать вопросы в отдельно взятой стране, особенно все, что касается гибели людей, невозможно, если мы отстранимся от всего мира. Все-таки нам нужно посмотреть на весь мир, как на родной дом.
platform of ALLATRA, International Public Movement, people expressed many times how they see practical steps to be taken. The main step is to limit capitals, personal capitals of families of up to $10 million. And along with this process, it's necessary to establish a joint, a unified electronic digital system which will enable us, over 7 billion people on Earth, to resolve any issue in any part of the world in online mode at any time. This system would allow us to eliminate corruption, non-professionalism, and whatever we try to resolve throughout years, we will be online all the time. Now, together with all the participants of our roundtable, I would like to dream with you together. Let's say we have limited capitals of $10 million per each family, and we created such a system. And for example, Dr. Arva Gadal writes to this unified online system the following message, and she addresses 7 or more billion people. For example, guys, friends, in Africa we have a problem. People are dying. Let's get together and solve this issue. All people see this message instantaneously, momentary. We don't have to wait for another conference. We can get together right away, especially those people who know how to solve these problems. They can share their ideas. And one of the ways out which we could find is that probably if in every country of Africa there would be access to good potable water, in maybe over 50% of cases, this would be a good prevention of any diseases. So, for example, we have clarified that first of all in Africa we should ensure potable water infrastructure. We have voted for this. We make such a business plan, and everyone sees this business plan online, and we can vote. More than 7 billion people can vote right away on the internet. We decided that we need to do this. We have funds, electronic digital funds, and we direct these funds to Africa. We eliminate any offshores, any banks and other mediators. In several seconds, money gets to Africa. At the same time, within the electronic system, people write down who want to go to Africa and construct the water supply system. They supply all the tubes and all the materials which are necessary for this project. And just note, in our creative society, salaries are only average size or high, and salaries are equal in all parts of the world. So people gladly, happily go to Africa at any point. Also, another point is that in creative society, funds are available to every person. We won't go to you for over a long time. We will fly to you on Boeing airplanes. We will come to you very fast, and within this system we will see feedback right away, which tubes, which materials have been supplied, and how much construction is going on. We can trace it online right away. Another initiative group also studies the diseases in Africa. We need to see what is wrong there. And another initiative group writes down to the internet. We know that in the consumer society, the drugs, the medicines are not publicly, there's no information about drugs on the internet, although there are problems with although all the problems with health can be resolved. So in my dream, we can get together and resolve all issues. For example, we decide that we need certain set of medicinal products and we send them to Africa. And since we have an online system, then it means that 24 hours a day, all physicians all over the world can provide consultations and can provide online assistance. We can see feedback. And also, there was the issue raised that feedback is very important.
Of course, if we see such a statistics that certain medicinal product doesn't work with the online system, we can get a instant feedback that some drugs don't work and we can fix this problem. What else we can get from this approach? Of course, if we resolve such questions and issues very fast, we don't have any borders. Yes, we still have countries because we have traditions, we have culture, but generally speaking, our whole world is our family, and we can resolve such issues not just in Africa, but we can resolve it immediately in any part of the world within just several days, within several hours, within several seconds. Such an electronic system enables us to vote, and at any point in time we can cancel any decision which is not efficient anymore. And not like now, if some program is not efficient, it still goes on on the earth and it's not urgent for people. Now we work online and we can always improve something in our life. What this gives to us, we can be actively participating in the life of every person on earth. It's very important because the society is self-governed by people themselves, and this is wonderful. Today we have to ask some foundations for grants, some governments, but with such an online model we don't have to go for funds to anyone. We do everything ourselves. But I should say that in order for this we have to work 4 times a week, 4 hours a day, and all the rest of the time we spend this on spiritual development, on spending time with our families. And after we went out from our work, we go online and discover who needs help and we share it. I agree totally with the speakers who were before me, because problems don't have any borders and assistance, help doesn't have any borders. Let's create together. We already started. We just need to tell about this to many people. And just note, we already have everything in place. Everything is available, but we need just to act. I also would like to give the floor right now to Russia, to Roman. I hope we fixed the technical issues. And now, Roman, I give the floor to you.
I would like to express my gratitude to everybody, every one of you, to every person that gathered around the screens or as a participant or as a listener, that we are having the same vibe, the same sort of inspiration. And this is the beginning of creative society. And I feel like so, since it can't be done another way, because we have to build a creative society starting from our families, kids, ideas, households, and every family is supposed to be like a building block for that. We need to understand that everybody's supposed to create something, not destroy something. Then we'll start to build it in our neighborhood, in our everything, in our cities, and in our countries. As for example, in the whole globe, it's supposed to be like that. We have to love people, love every person all over the planet, and then we'll be able to build this creative society, the thing that we're trying to get to in the first place. And they're trying to make medicine in the good way from Ethiopia or something. It really, if this creative society, if Alatra will be uniting people, then there are problems. For example, in the region, there's something's lacking, and we got together and we just went there, and there's no problem with that because we have one house, one planet, and we are supposed to help each other, everybody and every person to every person, and we're supposed to live in peace because wars are and conflicts are present, and it's probably coming from the fact that somebody's dividing territory, somebody's trying to get more power over the world. We need to remember our lives are short and we have to live it creatively. In my opinion, what I think is correct, that everybody's supposed to be united and supposed to help each other to solve problems And I think personally that I'm ready any moment, anytime to get to any country and to give my share of help. Then in every studio, everybody's ready to help in the same way. And I wish to all of you a great, great, great success, enthusiasm, and for you not to ever stop and to just continue moving and pushing forward.
Karina Lance from Colombia. She is a Korean from the Caribbean Foundation. That's what Karina. Dr. Karina from the Colombian or the Caribbean Foundation.
Hola, buen día. Escuchando a los participantes de África, entiendo que se viola el derecho fundamental a la salud. El campo de la salud, la medicina, es principalmente afectado, puesto que los medicamentos y la atención no son brindadas de forma eficaz, lo que ocasiona a diario muchas muertes de menores. Es deber de todos nosotros creer siempre que las cosas pueden ir mejor y coadyuvar a que el cambio positivo ocurra. La ciencia y la medicina, día con día, avanzan y nos regalan buenas noticias. Pero también es necesario poner a disposición de todos estos recursos para así mitigar un poco las pérdidas mortales que tenemos en Sudán.
Нам необходимо ограничить смертность за счет развития медицины, прогрессировать день за дня.
Para que así cobre vida el concepto de medicina creativa y a través de la bondad y amor construyamos una mejor casa y un mejor mundo. Los cambios positivos que podrían ocurrir en la medicina deben ir siempre encaminados en relación de la bondad y el servicio para todos. Es por eso que consideramos que es perentorio que exista igualdad en los beneficios y planes de salud. Es importante establecer un verdadero sistema de información que permita a las personas
family basis. And with this, doing all this, we need to manifest humanness, kindness, and we need to aspire for service, serving people. Now I give the floor to Atlanta.
For today. Actually, it was a very fruitful discussion, and we are addressing a lot of challenges and looking at very experiences. All the speakers was with us today. Actually, it is a great opportunity to be with a lot of you, and we are opening the door, hold the door for all the creative solutions and all the creative ideas that you mentioned today. Also, I would like to have a very the thanks from the Sudanese peoples in Atlanta, USA, my colleagues who are watching me online. Thank you very much for your support, for my family who attending here also in Sudan. Thank you very much for being with us. And when we are talking about the strengthening health system, actually 2 hours is not enough to talk about this big issue. So my pleasure, and I am pleased to invite you in another second round to speak about our initiative that we discussed today in the 15th of in the 5th of December 2019, after 2 weeks from now, to develop the initiative what we discussed. Please remember all the positive point that we mentioned today and carry it with us in the next conference. Thank you very much and have a nice day.
Thank you very much, Dr. Gadal. Thank you so much, everybody. I would like to thank everybody for joining us today. And I also would like to thank those who providing support behind the scene, such as IT support, Zoom support, our camera guys and girls, all the translators, people who helped with the coordinations of today's conference. And of course, I would like to send a huge thank you to all our speakers for preparing such an interesting report. We're really glad that we had that opportunity to see on the first time and hear each of us. It's a very, very nice opportunity, and we definitely need to use this technology. And thank you one more time, Arva, for announcing of our upcoming conference that was initiated by Ethiopia doctors. So please follow us on our landing page, Alatra Unites, where you can see all the details about upcoming events. And please don't forget to register for global conference that will unite millions of people from around the world, on which we really can describe and decide in which society we all want to live. This hub conference will take place on May 9th, 2020. So please go to our website and find more information about this and our next conferences. Thank you very much.